Well, Deacon Bill joins us now, and he serves in the Archdiocese of San Francisco, and he authored a book entitled Your Love Story. Deacon, thanks so much for joining us from San Francisco.
My pleasure, Jay.
You're a busy family man, a parish deacon, and you're involved in marriage prep. What made you decide to write this book?
Well, I think a lot of people are realizing that one of the most urgent needs of our time is to revitalize Christian marriage. We live in a time where our society has an incredibly impoverished view of sexuality and marriage. And simultaneously, the Church has achieved a deeper insight, particularly through the writings of St. John Paul II, into God's plan for marriage and its beauty and its power. And unfortunately, a lot of that power is locked up in dense philosophical language that it's hard for people to understand. So it seems there's a real urgent need to unleash the power of the Church's insight into marriage.
In a recent blog post, you wrote that every marriage is unique. The husband and wife are each unique, and their relation can never be duplicated. Can you expand a little bit about this in what you were talking about in your blog?
Sure, Kate. Every marriage is a union of two people, a man and a woman, who are unique persons, and the nature of their relationship is unique. And yet at the same time, that uniqueness is supported and allowed to flourish by recognizing what's universal in their marriage. And God designed every Christian marriage to share both in the sacrificial love of Jesus for his bride, the Church. And so marriage involves a deep, profound sacrifice, and also to share in the fruitful love of the Trinity. And so marriage is oriented to life. And so by respecting what is universal, we allow the development of what is most personal. And that creates the ideal conditions for children. That's how God's designed for children to grow up in a community of self-giving love, and allows them to develop into the persons God intends them to be.
Mm-hmm. In your book, Deacon, can you just explain to me a little bit for our viewers out there, if they were to pick up a copy, and I'm sure they'll want to, what are some of the things that you think are really important for them to focus on?
Well, I think that we that a big challenge of our time is that people think that marriage is something that, you know, it's to be invented by each couple. But marriage has been instituted by God. It's part of His plan, and so we have to step back and allow Him to teach us what marriage is all about. And and marriage it's a great adventure. It is not an easy adventure. It does require sacrifice. It requires two very different people adapting to each other, learning how to form a unity, and to develop a community of love that will welcome children.
As someone who is recently married, I'm constantly sharing to people how my husband and I fell in love and our proposal story. But I feel like a lot of times that drops off as you know, marriage goes on in years. Why is it important for us to keep on sharing our love stories with one another?
Well, all of our love stories ultimately are part of the great love story of God's love, the love within the Trinity, and then of God's love for His creation. And our love stories develop over time. They tend to become deeper. And so all of those wonderful initial experience of falling in love, although some of the fireworks may level out over time, there is the opportunity for an ever deeper relationship in the context of God's love for us.
Mm-hmm. I had to laugh because everyone here knows there is no two people more different than Shirley, my wife, and myself. We are very different people, and yet, you know, very much in love. You teach marriage prep. Why is marriage prep so important? Because I remember when I got married, we went to marriage prep, and I took it very seriously, as did Shirley, and it really was helpful. Why is it so important for couples as they're preparing for marriage to go through this?
Well, it's particularly important in today's context because our society's understanding of marriage has really deteriorated. And so the Catholic Christian understanding of marriage is lost even among a lot of people who've grown up, participating in the church. So it's very important that we hear what sacramental marriage is all about, and that couples have that chance to be educated in the authentic teachings of the church and to prepare for that lifelong commitment, and to realize that love is not just something, it's not just a feeling, that feelings come and go, and but love is sometimes most demonstrated when we have the least feeling of love. It's when we choose to love even during the hard times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, and the third person, as you said, involved is God. And as
That's
long
right.
as he's part of that marriage, I think people will be fine. Where can people learn more about the book, Your Love Story?
At the website, yourlovestory-book.com. I'll say that again, yourlovestory-book.com.
Well, Deacon, thank you so much for being with us. And we have a prayer box here. I'm going to put in that prayer box rain for California.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Send it down.
We'll get you a little rain. We'll see what we can do. Thank you so much for being with us, and have a great day.
Thanks, Deacon.
Okay, thank you. God bless.